Did you know that in today's date, age, and technology, you don't need expensive tools, expensive lessons, or even expensive tutors to become better at English? In fact, these four tips I'm about to give you are definitely going to improve your speaking skills, and we're going to talk about them today. What's up? You're watching Tito Talks English Mondays. Once again, this is your favorite Tito Miguel who loves to make English topics easier to understand for both agents and clients. Magandang Monday po sa ating lahat. So happy to have you guys here today. And as promised, for today, we are going to be talking about four specific, distinct, and very doable tips that you can do on your own to help improve your conversational skills, speaking skills, presentation skills using the English language. And I hope you're ready for this as well. As mentioned earlier in the intro, we have a lot of technological advancements today, a lot of new teaching methods as well to help people adjust to the new demands of the new market. And it's kind of funny to see that even though meetings are now online, sales are now done online as well, people close transactions over Messenger, over Zoom, over Viber, and whatnot, one thing has always remained the same, and that is English is primarily still the most used business language here in the Philippines. Isn't it funny that hasn't changed yet? Meaning, you still have an obligation to yourself to improve your speaking skills in order to upgrade the clients that you talk to, in order to upgrade the level of income that you can deliver to your household, and of course, to improve your confidence as a user of the language. And I know most of us now no longer have the time to brood over lessons, phonetics, checking the dictionary every time, listening to the same boring but handsome trainer over and over again. This is why we've got four very specific, and no, these are not the general practice more, find a speaking buddy, listen to more English speakers. Well, those are really, really good tips for beginners. We're going to be talking about very specific, doable things which you can do on your own to for absolutely no cost at all. To you as a practitioner of the English language. So let's get started with number one. That is right. Keeping a journal, and yes, it is pronounced as journal, is a really, really good way to practice English. How come? Well, for starters, who better to practice who better to practice English with than yourself? No one's gonna call you out if you make any mistakes. No one's gonna get embarrassed. No one's gonna call you out. No one's gonna judge you for any potential mistakes that you commit. You are free to create as many errors as you want, and you are free to try out any speech ideas, any line of thought that you want when conversing with yourself. And keeping a journal is a great way to do that. Primarily because one of the biggest problems that most Filipino English users encounter is the fact that they don't think in English. Yes, that's right. What I'm talking about is the translation problem that goes on in our heads every time we want to speak in English. Usually, what happens is that every time we want to think of saying something, the thought manifests itself in Tagalog. Gugutom na ako. Anong pinagsasabi nito? Saan ako kakain mamaya? Paano ako uuwi? And when you want to talk about these things with your friends, with your colleagues, with your relatives, the thoughts manifest themselves automatically in the native language, which is Tagalog. And then if you want to deliver that in English, it adds an additional step to the process, which is translating the Tagalog thought from Tagalog into English and then relaying that translation to whomever it is you're talking to. This can cause people to stutter. This can cause people to take a while before trying to respond because that's all getting calculated, computed, and translated in your head. But you could avoid all that trouble if you start thinking in English. Instead of saying, gugutom na ako, you can always start by thinking, I'm really hungry. Instead of thinking, anong pinagsasasabi nito? You can start thinking, what the hell is this guy saying? When you start thinking or constructing your thoughts in English, you eliminate a very, very big step in the way, and it makes things easy for you. And the best way to develop that skill of constructing English thoughts is to keep a journal. And when you keep a journal, you have all the time in the world to construct all the English thoughts you want, and it allows you to keep them in a very safe space. Now, very important. It's not enough that your diary is something that you write upon. Now, I know writing has its advantages, especially when it's handwritten. However, if you want to keep a journal, I suggest that you keep an online journal or a virtual journal. It doesn't have to be online and it doesn't have to be accessible to everyone. It could be a private journal that you keep on your phone or on your computer. Why is it important that you do this? This is because there are certain services that actually correct whatever it is that you're typing into this journal. So if let's say you keep an or if you keep a journal, you type stuff into your phone or to your laptop, there is something known as Grammarly. And this online service, link is in the description if you want to learn more, this service actually works as your personal English assistant, which actually catches misspelled words, it catches grammar slips, and also, more importantly, it also catches redundancies, wordy paragraphs that are too long, sentences that are too long, too many commas, not enough commas, so on and so forth. Even punctuation. So it's a great way to practice on your own with someone or something automatically correcting you when you're potentially doing something wrong. That way, you get rid of bad habits and you develop new ones all in the privacy of your own head, which is a great way to start thinking in English. Next up, this one's rather enjoyable to my end, and it's been a very integral part of how I practice English as well. I know it's common knowledge that if you want to learn how to speak better, you have to find good speakers, but that's where most of the help stops. All right, I know I have to find a good role model, but who? And you'll be very surprised to know what I have in mind for you. Instead of looking for speakers, politicians, and watching your favorite TV shows that are in English, one of the best teachers of English are actually stand-up comedians. I'm not kidding. Yes, stand-up comedians. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what stand-up comedy is, this is where these are particular events that you see at comedy bars wherein people perform in front of a large audience telling jokes, telling funny stories, getting the audience to laugh as a form of entertainment. Now, why are stand-up comedians really, really good teachers of English? Number one, this is because English-speaking stand-up comedians tend to speak slower. This is because they want their jokes to be understood by everyone in the audience. It's a built-in function. So if they want their jokes to be funny, they have to adjust to make sure that the audience is capable of understanding the joke. So they are predispositioned to speak in a manner that is understandable to most any level of English speakers. Which means if you encounter a good stand-up comedian and you understand their jokes, that means they're a good speaker. But Miguel, all the stand-up comedians I know only use Tagalog, and when they use English, they're making fun of English users. I know. This is wherein we're going to get more specific. I've got a few suggestions of people that you may want to watch. And don't worry, you don't have to pay. People you may want to watch in order for you to pick up some good habits and some good laughs as well. One of the more popular stand-up comedians I've noticed who are really, really good role models when it comes to speaking English, number one, is JoKoy. Now, JoKoy, really funny guy, and he's really popular right now. I'm gonna link some of his videos and his channel in the description as well. He's Filipino in origin and he talks about his mother a lot. And one of the things I really like about his jokes is that he actually can switch from accent to accent. He can be speaking in his natural native English speaking nature at first, and then he would switch to the accent that his mother uses when she speaks to him. It's a really, really good routine. And the way that he switches from accent to accent, it's not just his mother though. He can also switch from different types of Asian accents, which is a really good testament to how well he's mastered his mouth. And if you watch him long enough, you will be able to pick up some good pronunciation habits. And if you keep watching him, you'll be able to pick up really, really good techniques. Another one is also another Filipino born talent. This one, he's a little bit older in the industry. I'm not sure if you know him, Mr. Rex Navarete. And he's actually got a lot of classical jokes that I really, really like. I'm not sure if he's still creating new content though, but I'm going to link his channel right in the description as well. He's got a lot of, he had a lot of good jokes, especially about the, um, what do you call that? SBC Packers joke. That was really, really good. I really, really suggest that you watch him. He also switches his accents from time to time, and that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why I like him so much. Also, and finally on our list is Mr. Mikey Bustos. He's really, really popular on YouTube right now as a comedian and as a vlogger, which means he has a lot of content. And that's good for you. Because he has a lot of content, you'll have a lot of exposure to the way that he speaks. And mind you, he also switches from accent to accent from time to time. That way, you notice the differences between the Filipino accents and the English accents. And the way he does it is so natural. And on top of that, he's one of the more slower speakers I've noticed because again, he wants to make sure that his audience understands his thoughts and his ideas. So he's really, really easy to understand. Not like other those comedians who really, really put their words together and they really speak quite fast so that people don't really understand them. And they also want to make sure that they always pronounce their sentences in one breath so people understand them. And that's not something you want to listen to in the meantime. Yes, you will get there, but you're going to have to start somewhere. Number 3, you can do on your phone, actually, and this one's a lot of fun as well. Try. No, I did this myself, and I can't demonstrate this to you now because I'm recording on my phone. Try to play with Google or Siri. No, I'm not talking about the search function. I'm talking about the voice function on your phone. Google for Android users and Siri for Apple users. What's so nice about them? Well, these are good testers to see if if your phone's AI can understand you. Usually, and you may not know this, your phones are equipped with text, voice to text recognition, and this is part of what Google has as part of its Android phone. So let's say you start off your phone and you activate you activate Google service, and usually you turn this on by by tapping on the microphone icon on the front on your home screen, and it'll start the service. And when you start the service, you have to start by saying, "Okay, Google, please call mother." And what Google's gonna do is it's gonna look for the entry of mother in your phone and it's gonna call them. So try it with different contacts and see if Google recognizes what you're saying. You can also do this for search functions. Okay, Google, what is okay, Google, what is the date today? Okay, Google, search for pictures of spaghetti. Okay, Google, search for recipes on dim sum. Okay, Google, search for hamburger restaurants near me. I'm sorry, I'm looking forward to merienda. And then also, you can do the same thing with Siri. And if Google or Siri can't understand you, you're probably not saying something right, and you will need to double check. Isn't that great? This next one, you'll probably find this a little bit strange, but yes, practicing your penmanship can also help you improve your English skills. I'm not kidding, but not just any type of practicing of penmanship. What I mean is a specific type of penmanship practice. And this one, I can personally attest to how effective it is because this was a technique that was used on me when I was younger. Usually, my parents would have me copy certain texts from certain books. So I would read out the book and then I would write down whatever it is I read from the book straight onto a sheet of paper. And that was my penmanship practice. And I would usually practice the cursive style. It doesn't really matter what type of style penmanship you want to do. You can do it in print, you can do it in all caps. What's important is you're copying from something edited already, proven to have correct grammar. This could be your favorite storybook, this could be your favorite newspaper article, this could be your favorite online article, this could even be the Bible if you're the religious type that likes to do that kind of thing. So you take a book, you take an article, you take a page, you take a passage, you take a couple of paragraphs, and then as after you read or while you read, you copy it onto a sheet of paper. Don't type it. Write it down. Why is this important? Because writing down something actually helps you retain information better. It's a lot more effective than simply just memorizing a list of things. If you write down that list of things, your brain is actually programmed to use the information it just recently absorbed because you have to use that information when you write it down. Therefore, your brain retains that knowledge. And if you're retaining knowledge on proper grammar, sentence structures, thought processes, which you can find in most books or your favorite books, then you have the perfect guide to help you construct better sentences with proper grammar without having to listen to all those subject verb agreement lessons, plural versus singular verbs, count versus abstract nouns, so on and so forth. If you're reading from properly edited books with correct grammar and you're copying from these books and you commit these things to memory, the job becomes a lot more easier. Plus, it's a lot more fun because you're dealing with your favorite book, something you like to read. And if you don't like to read, we got a problem. And yes, a bonus tip from Tito as well, but it's not really bonus. You probably knew I was going to say this at the start of the video. But if you're looking for a good guide as well, besides the comedians that I spoke about, why not communicate with Tito? Yes, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment in the section. This is so self-serving. Leave me a comment about what you thought about this lesson. I reply to comments if in case you've checked our previous videos. I love hearing from you guys. And if you like this type of video as well and want to learn more, please send me a like and leave a subscribe on my channel. I would love to hear from you and communicate with you guys in English. Don't worry, I won't be pointing out your grammar mistakes, but I will be engaging you in an English discussion. So I'd like to see you in the comments. With that being said, thank you so much for attending this lesson today. And thank you so much. This was longer than usual, but I really wanted to get into a lot of information to you guys. It was such a pleasure sharing my expertise with you. And once again, if you do like this type of content, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Once again, this is your favorite Tito Miguel, always saying, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.